Okay, guys. Well, this is interactive horror stories. Just found it on Steam. Let's do it. I don't know how good it is, if it's bad or whatever. I just thought it would be kind of cool. And we're getting so close to Halloween at this point. Oh, there's a bunch of interactive horror stories. Hmm. The doll after. Well, let's just start with the doll. You are a single mother. Your daughter Liza is an intelligent girl who doesn't have any friends. You buy her a rag doll. Soon, Liza will claim that the doll can talk, and this is just the beginning of your nightmare. Can the doll be really possessed, as Liza claims? If you are stuck, you can see our Facebook post about how to get the good ending in the story. What? No. Play. Press any key to continue. The doll. As a single mother, you know how hard it is to look after a 13-year-old girl. Hard, but still joyful. Her presence gives you all the strength you need. Her name is Liza. She is a shy girl. She doesn't talk much. You got divorced 3 years ago because he cheated on you with his secretary. Liza misses her father, but you don't allow her to see him. She adores her father, but you think he is an asshole. Liza is a special kid. Her teacher once said that she is too intelligent for a girl her age, but you already knew it. Her reactions are unexpectedly mature. She is also hardworking. You expect perfection from her. Her teacher told you that you must take Eliza to a psychiatrist. You will do it soon. She is a lonely girl, maybe because she doesn't talk much. You think that she needs friends. So you bought her a rag doll to cease her loneliness. You bought the rag doll from the local toy store. Not an expensive toy, nothing too fancy. Liza might still like it. You know that expense doesn't make Liza happy. The doll is a girl with big blue eyes and curly black hair. She has a wide grin that you can call friendly. Her dress is red, matching her shoes. She also has eyebrows. The unnamed doll waits for her new owner in kid's bedroom. You haven't bought Liza home from school yet. It's Friday, not a sunny day. The sky is covered with gray clouds. You're driving your car. Hey, what's up, Siren? We're doing interactive horror stories. You are driving your car. Liza sits on the next seat. The seat belts are worn tight. She looks from the window blankly without any expression on her face. You remember that the math exam's results were going to be announced today. So I can choose which way we're gonna go with this. How are the exam results? Were you able to make any friends today? I bought you a rag doll today. Well, if I say I bought you a rag doll today, hey, what's up, Mako? If I say I bought you a rag doll today, I think I'm gonna be automatically bringing attention to this creepy freaking doll. Or I could continue driving and not say anything at all. And based on the start of this, it seems like there's good and bad endings. So is there an ending where my kid dies or I die? I think that's a possibility because there's obviously a way to get a good ending, so there's got to be a way to get a bunch of bad endings. So maybe I'm gonna try to get the good ending like right from the get go. How are the exam results? Liza sighs and says, "Terrible. I'm the seventh in class, not first like the previous exam. I know you'll be mad at me. I didn't study enough." "You are right, Lisa. You should have studied more." "It's okay." I'm gonna say it's okay. She looks at you with a slight surprise. You always scolded her whenever she wasn't the best. Now you say it's okay, darling. She continues watching the cars passing by. Were you able to make any friends today? I bought you a rag doll today. I don't want to bring up the doll because I feel like the doll is going to lead this family down the wrong path. Let's go with continue driving. You finally arrive home. The doll is in your bedroom, Liza, you tell her. She climbs up the stairs slowly. Apparently, she isn't so excited about the doll. You follow her to her bedroom. She picks up the doll that's on her bed. I will think of a nice name, Eliza says, but I have got homework to do first. Play comes after study. Yeah, study. Don't go hard on yourself. Yeah, study. So you leave Liza alone in her room. You have got a lot of work to do anyway. Not only you will cook, but you also need to work on a novel's cover illustration as a freelance artist. The deadline is close, so you work hard nowadays. You are not so happy with your life. You force Liza to study in order to have a better life than yours. You work all day. The only break you take is the dinner. You don't talk about anything during dinner with Liza. It's 2200. Bedtime for Liza. It's 10 and now it's bedtime? Jesus. Bedtime for Liza. You visit Liza before she sleeps. She's in her pink dotted pajamas. She's holding the doll in her arms. Mom, I'm going to tell you something, but you won't believe. After a few seconds of silence, she speaks. The doll can speak! She told me her name is Anna. Oh! Go on. Liza explains. Anna says she has nothing but a piece of light. A light that's drifting in absolute blackness. A weak light in the infinity darkness. Yeah, get the flamethrower. You're right. That's exactly what I would do. Then she found life in this doll. She was waiting in the toy store for a friend. Lonely. And today she found me. She says that she loves me. Don't be ridiculous. Dolls can't speak. That's obviously like the horror movie response that's going to lead to me dying. I believe in you. We need to throw the doll away. Yes. I believe in you. Keep the doll. And what did you tell her? Okay, wait. Hang on. So the doll says that she loves my daughter. And she seems friendly. So if I throw her away, then I'm assuming that's when the doll is going to turn hostile. This is obviously a red herring response. So I'm going to say, I believe in you. Keep the doll. Oh, no, hang on. What did you tell her? Liza smiles. And I said that I will be her new friend, and I will always love her. She continues, and then she told me that she was happy. Happy like the times when she used to be an angel. Don't be ridiculous. Dolls can't speak. I believe in you. We need to throw the doll away. I believe in you. Keep the doll. Don't make it bad. Don't piss off the doll. That's obviously a demon. Liza doesn't show her emotions usually, but this time you can see that she is surprised. Oh, thank you very much, Mom, she says. You kiss her goodnight and leave her with Anna, the doll that's fucking alive, apparently. You hear hysterical laughter coming from the garden. They belong to a girl, specifically Liza's. You stand up and look outside the window. You see Liza standing and laughing in the garden under the pale moonlight. She's facing back. You can't see her face. Fucking creepy. Go to the garden! You climb down nervously. You wear your shoes and walk to the garden. Liza doesn't react to your presence. You approach Liza and you put your hand on her shoulder. She turns her face to you. It is not Liza's face! It's not even a human face! The texture of the face is a gray rag. The eyes are quite big for a human. So is the wide smile. The voice changes. It doesn't belong to a girl now, but a demon! She stares at you and laughs. You wake up. It was just a nightmare. You're all sweaty with terror. The morning has already broken. You decide to check on Liza. Okay! Maybe I already made the bad decision. Liza is sleeping peacefully, hugging Anna. Anna's carrying that wide smile that annoys you now. But hey, it is normal. It would be terrible if the doll's face was different than how you bought it. You go to the kitchen to prepare a weekend breakfast. You usually make omelet with sausage on Saturdays. You will repeat that habit today. You are in the kitchen. You take the sausage and eggs from the fridge. You need to slice the sausage, so you open the drawer to pick up the meat knife. Something is wrong. There. Search for the knife in the kitchen. Look inside the garbage bin. I'm going to search for the knife in the kitchen. You search the whole kitchen. No drawer is not looked into. You even looked into the fridge. No, the knife isn't there either. There's only one place you haven't looked inside. The garbage bin. You open the lid. You couldn't find the knife inside the garbage bin. You search the knife in everywhere possible, but it's in vain. So you decide to use another knife to prepare the omelet. After you have prepared the omelet, Liza wakes up and joins you in the kitchen. You eat breakfast with her. She doesn't look so happy. There's an uneasiness on her face. Okay. The meat knife is missing. Did Anna speak again? You have to study today. No play. Don't ask. Oh, I'm going to ask about Anna. She did not speak today, but she kept changing her facial expression. Sometimes she looked so happy, sometimes not. She was frowning. There was anger in her face. I can't understand her. Liza continues eating the breakfast. Oh, fuck. You eat the breakfast with her. She doesn't look so happy. There's an uneasiness on her face. The meat knife is missing. It is strange, Mom. I have no idea where the knife went, Liza answered. You have to study today. No play. It's a surprise knife-wielding tentacle monster. I wouldn't be surprised at this point. Liza sighed. This is Saturday, but okay, Mom. I will work hard and be better. Then she looked away. She might be hiding her thoughts. She was not such a vocal girl. You eat the breakfast with her. She doesn't look so happy. There's an uneasiness on her face. The breakfast is over. I need to study math, says Liza, then climbs up to her room. You also need to work on the novel cover. You are both busy now. Busy. As you work on the cover, you hear screams from Liza's room. You rush to her room. You find Liza standing and breathing in panic. Her arms are full of stitches. Full of stitches? She did it! Liza screams, showing her heavily wounded arms as blood leaks down to the floor. She jumped and ran away! Liza points to the open window. What the fuck? You look outside. You can't see any running dolls there. Maybe because she ran away. Or it is too dark outside. Or Liza is lying. I won't allow her to harm you, Liza. Slap! Fuck that! Believe the kid. That's always the biggest mistake they make in the movies. I won't allow her to harm you, Liza. You crouch and hug Liza. As she cries, I know how hard it is to believe me now. Thank you for believing me. But please, I want to stay alone. I know that she won't come back. So you let her stay alone in her room after closing the windows and locking the door. You make sure that no doll can trespass. You get into your own bedroom next to Liza's room so you can hear her in case she needs you. Ah! This game was totally silent, and then out of nowhere there was noises. It is 3 a.m. now. It's raining outside. Lightning strike and enlighten your dark bedroom. You didn't hear that lightning strike? I heard that lightning strike. It was the most lightning of lightningy strike. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Oh, I know why you didn't hear lightning strike. It's because there we go. Now you should hear any audio. I just realized that I was feeding through my monitors, but now I'm feeding through the right thing. Either way, there was only the lightning strike. Don't feel bad. I'm not insane. You haven't slept. You don't care about the freelance work you got. All these events make you too stressed to care about business. You see Liza's silhouette at the door. She walks in. Liza's holding something behind her back, but you can't see it. She approaches your bed, climbs it, and comes near you. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hey, Tamagotchi, love you. This is scary. Liza is holding something behind her back, but you can't see it. She approaches your bed, climbs it, and comes near you. Oh! With a sudden move, she stabs the meat knife in your belly. She stabs you once again. You didn't allow me to live my childhood. She keeps stabbing your body with insanity. I hate you, Mom. I hate you. These are the final words you hear as your own daughter repeatedly stabs you and commits matricide. The end. There are 2 possible endings. What the fuck? How the... Ah! I actually died already! What? Oh. I just... Ah! I did get the bad ending. Okay, you know what? I'm only allowed to make 2 attempts at this. I'm gonna make one more attempt. I'm gonna make one more attempt at the doll. Here we go. You are a single mother. Your daughter Liza is an intelligent girl who doesn't have any friends. You buy her a rag doll. Soon Liza will claim that the doll can talk, and this is just the beginning of your nightmare. Can the doll be really possessed as Liza claims? If you are stuck, you can see our Facebook post about how to get to the good ending of the story. No. As a single mother, you know how hard it is to look after a 13-year-old girl. Hard, but still joyful. Her presence gives you all the strength you need. Her name is Liza. She's a shy girl. She doesn't talk much. You got divorced 3 years ago because he cheated on you with his secretary. Liza misses her father, but you don't allow her to see him. She adores her father, but you think he is an asshole. Liza is a special kid. Her teacher once said that she is too intelligent for a girl her age, but you already knew it. Her reactions are unexpectedly mature. She is also hardworking. You expect perfection from her. Her teacher told you that you must take Liza to a psychiatrist. You will do it soon. She's a lonely girl. Maybe because she doesn't talk much. You think that she needs friends. So you bought her a rag doll to cease her loneliness. You bought the rag doll from the local toy store. Not an expensive toy. Nothing too fancy. Liza might still like it. You know that expense doesn't make Liza happier. The doll is a girl with big blue eyes and curly black hair. She has a wide grin that you can call friendly. Her dress is red, matching her shoes. She also has eyebrows. The unnamed doll waits for her own owner in kid's bedroom. You haven't brought Liza home from school yet. It's Friday, not a sunny day. The sky is covered with gray clouds. You're driving your car. Liza sits on the next seat. The seat belts are worn tight. She looks from the window blankly without any expression on her face. You remember that the math exams results were going to be announced today? Yeah, this time, fuck this doll. I'm throwing it out immediately. All right, let's just I bought you a rag doll today. Oh, that's nice. Thank you, she says. There isn't any excitement in her voice. Well, shit. Were you able to make any friends today? No, she says with a determined voice. They are just idiots. For example, they see the other classes in school as enemies, as if they were an enemy nation with a different religion. I mean, it is still silly to be enemies because of race or religion. These morons in my class hate each other just because they are different classes. That is some really high-minded shit that this kid just threw at me. How are the exam results? Eliza sighs and says, terrible. I am the 7th in the class, not first like the previous exam. I know you'll be mad at me. I didn't study enough. It's okay, darling. She looks at you with a slight surprise. You always scolded her whenever she wasn't the best. Now you say it's okay, darling. She continues watching the cars passing by. Continue driving. You finally arrive home. The doll is in your bedroom, Liza. You tell her. She climbs up the stairs slowly. Apparently, she isn't so excited about the doll. You follow her to her bedroom. She picks up the doll that's on her bed. I will think of a nice name, Liza says, but I've got homework to do first. Play comes after study. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it the other way. Don't go hard on yourself. So you leave Liza alone in her room. You have got a lot of work to do anyway. Not only you will cook, but you also need to work on a novel's cover illustration as a freelance artist. The deadline is close, so you work hard nowadays. You work all day. The only break you take is the dinner. You don't talk about anything during dinner with Liza. I have an idea for this horror story. Hey, what's up, Cameron? Cameron? What's up? Okay, it's 10 o'clock, bedtime for Liza. You visit Liza before she sleeps. She's in her pink dotted pajamas. She is holding the doll in her arms. Mom, I'm going to tell you something, but you won't believe. After a few seconds of silence, she speaks. After a few seconds of silence, she speaks. The doll can speak. She told me her name is Anna. No, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna play it safe this time. What? That's impossible. Go on. Liza explains, Anna says that she was nothing but a piece of light. A light that's drifting in absolute blackness. A weak light in the infinity darkness. Then she found life in this doll. She was waiting in the toy store for a friend. Lonely. And today she found me. She says that she loves me. Don't be ridiculous. Dolls can't speak. I believe in you. We need to throw the doll away. She screams, no! I don't want it to be thrown. She is my friend. Please don't. I feel like the doll's staring at you too. Throw the doll. You pick the doll from Liza's arms. You bring it down to the kitchen and drop the doll in the garbage bin. The plastic garbage bin will be put on the street tomorrow. You are not allowed to leave garbage outside in this hour. Because of all the hard work, you begin to feel tired and you go to bed. Oh, I'm already gonna die. I'm already gonna die. I'm already gonna die. Or I'm already gonna die. I can already tell. It doesn't take too long for you to fall asleep. A few hours later, you wake up to the sounds coming from outside. Oh, I'm already gonna die. I'm already gonna die. It's over. You hear hysterical laughter coming from the garden. They belong to a girl, specifically Liza's. You stand up and look outside the window. You see Liza standing and laughing in the garden under the pale moonlight. She's facing back. You can't see her face. Shout out, Liza! Liza! You shout out, but she can't hear you. Or she just doesn't care. Either way, she continues laughing and you got nothing to do but to go near her. You climb down nervously. You wear your shoes and walk to the garden. Liza doesn't react to your presence. You approach Liza and you put your hand on her shoulder. She turns her face to you. It is not Liza's face. It is not even a human face. The texture of the face is a gray rag. The eyes are quite big for a human. So is the wide smile. The voice changes. It doesn't belong to a girl now, but a demon. She stares at you. Laughs. You wake up. It was just a nightmare. You're all sweaty with terror. The morning has already broken. You decide to check on Liza. Liza is sleeping. You can't see the doll anywhere in the room. You go to the kitchen to prepare a weekend breakfast. You usually make omelet with sausage on Saturdays. You will repeat that habit today. You are in the kitchen. You take the sausage and eggs from the fridge. You need to slice the sausage. So you open the drawer to pick up the meat knife. Something is wrong. The knife isn't there. Look inside the garbage bin. The knife is in the garbage bin and something else is wrong too. You had thrown the doll into the bin. But the doll is not inside. Oh boy. How exciting. Practically, you rush to Liza's room and wake her up. You need some answers. Liza's in the bed waiting for your questions. She keeps looking at you innocently. Rays of sun comes from the windows, shining on Liza. We're already gonna fucking die. Did you take the doll back? You also have the doll's not in the trash. Liza looks surprised. What? I did not do anything. You don't believe me? I believe in you. Liza's in the bed waiting for your question. She keeps looking at you innocently. Rays of sun comes from the window, shining on Liza. The meat knife is lost. Liza looks surprised. I have no idea where it might have gone. Oh, I'm fucking dead. Let's eat breakfast. You eat the breakfast with Liza. You don't speak about anything. You are stressed about the missing doll and the knife. Could Liza have taken it? The breakfast is over. I need to study math, says Liza, then climbs up to her room. You also need to work on the novel cover. You are both busy now. It is evening now. As you work on the cover, you hear screams from Liza's room. You rush to her room. You find Liza standing and breathing in panic. Her arms are full of stitches. She did it! Liza screams, showing her heavily wounded arms as blood leaks down to the floor. She jumped and ran away. Liza points to the open window. You look outside. You can't see any running dolls here. Maybe because she ran away. Or is it too dark outside, or Liza's lying? I won't allow her to harm you, Liza. Slap! You slap your daughter so hard that she hits the floor. She starts crying on the floor, crawling into a fetus shape, but she doesn't say anything. You leave the room with anger, and you don't visit Liza tonight. Ah, fuck, I fucked it up, I'm dead! It is 3 a.m. It's raining outside. Lightning strike in your dark bedroom. You haven't slept. You don't care about the freelance work you got. All these events make you too stressed to care about business. You see Liza silhouette at the door. She walks in. Liza's holding something behind her back, but you can't see it. She approaches your bed, climbs it, and comes near you. Fuck! I'm dead! I'm dead as fuck! With a sudden move, she stabs the meat knife in your belly. You never trusted me! She stabs you once again. She keeps stabbing your body with insanity. I hate you, Mom! I hate you! These are the final words you hear as your own daughter repeatedly stabs you and commits matricide. The end. At least you got to slap her. That doesn't make me feel better! I wanted to slap the doll! Okay, you know what? I'm too stubborn. I want to try one more time. We're gonna survive this. Play. No, we don't need to read this. I know what I'm gonna do. I bought you the rag doll today. Continue driving. Yes, study. Don't go so hard on yourself. Continue. Okay. Go on. I believe in you. Keep the doll. Go to the garden. Don't ask anything. Wait, did Anna speak again? Don't ask anything. I won't allow her to harm you. And wait! What? 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 I didn't die! Did you notice how her text changed at the end? Oh, okay. Whoa, I'm gonna do it again. I bought you a ragdoll today. Continue driving. Yes, study. Don't go hard on yourself. And go on. Keep the doll. Go to the garden. Did Anna speak again? Okay, don't ask anything. The breakfast is over. I need to study math. Says Liza, then climbs up to her room. You also need to work on the novel cover. You are both busy now. It is evening now. As you work on the cover, you hear screams from Liza's room. You rush to her room. You find Liza standing and breathing in panic. Her arms are full of stitches. Yeah, you never let her live her childhood, and the second time you never trusted him. So this time I'm trying to be more trusting of her and letting her play with the doll. As you work on the cover, you hear screams from Liza's room. You rush to her room. You find Liza standing and breathing in panic. Her arms are full of stitches. I mean, it could be Lisa, but I'm gonna go with Liza. Like Liza. She did it, Liza screams, showing her heavily wounded arms as blood leaks down to the floor. She jumped and ran away. Liza points to the open window. You look outside. You can't see any. You can't see any running dolls there. Maybe maybe because she ran away, or it is too dark outside, or Liza is lying. You crouch and hug Liza as she cries. I know how hard it is to believe me now. Thank you for believing me, but please, I want to stay alone. I know that she won't come back. So you let her stay alone in a room. After closing the windows and locking the door, you make sure that no doll can trespass. You get into your own bedroom next to Liza's room so you can hear her in case she needs you. It's 3 a.m. It's raining outside. Lightning striking and light in your dark bedroom. You haven't slept. You don't care about the freelance work you got. All these events make you too stressed to care about business. You see Liza silhouette at the door. She walks in. Liza turns on the light and approaches you. Mom, I need to confess something. The doll was not possessed or anything. I made it up. What? I really need to get psychiatric help. I feel a huge urge to murder you. Please help me. You hug her. You had done parenting failures before, but it is not too late to fix them. And your mentally ill daughter. The end. Whoa! Holy shit! Well, that was the twist, I guess. That was the freaking twist. After Funeral. After Funeral is a modern gothic horror story that takes place 3 days after your son's burial. You receive messages in your computer. Those claim to be sent by your son's soul. He says that he wants to be with you once again, and he asks you to do a few things in order to be resurrected. Will you believe in the messages? Let's do it. You used to be a father. It has been 3 days since your son Jonathan White was buried in the graveyard of the local church. He was 8 years old. He had golden hair and blue eyes, just like the beloved man in the Carpenter song, Close to You. Since your wife passed away giving birth to Jonathan, and since he has been your everything, he was your angel. Now he is gone. He died on a snowy winter morning. You had gone to market, leaving him alone at home. When you arrived at home, you found Jonathan lying on the bed motionless. His face was covered with his pillow, choked. Police couldn't find any trace of trespassing. You clearly remember the solemn moments of Jonathan's funeral. In fact, you try to forget, but the details are in front of your eyes, and they won't go away. The priest had intoned psalms and prayers. Psalms and prayers? Those you are not familiar with. You are not so religious. While the lifeless body of your son laid in the church, his feet were turned to the east. He was wearing black suits and shiny shoes. His skin was pale. He was way too young for all this. You wished it was you lying there instead of him. Like the day Jonathan died, it's a snowy day in all of Ohio. There are 3 inches of snow outside. It's 1400. 2 o'clock p.m., I guess. Now, you are a writer who has been on writer's block since that day. Your favorite word processor is open in the computer. The screen is blank. You haven't written anything for a long time. There are cigarette butts, an ashtray, and your black, hot coffee in a blue cup on your work table. You chain smoke and consume a lot of coffee nowadays. Oh, I guess the doorbell just rang. As you're sipping your coffee, doorbell rings. Open the door. You open the door. It's Bob, your neighbor and friend. You had drunk beers and had barbecue with him several times. Bob is a nice guy. He is overweight, has short black hair, and has no facial hair. He wears a dark blue jacket and a black beanie. Hey, how are you? I want to ask you how you've been. I'm still depressed. Bob replies, I can imagine how hard it is. I never had kids, but I had a cat when I was younger. I loved her as my daughter, and I had to bury her into the garden myself. It was tough. I know how much you love Jonathan. I'm shocked like you. I am as shocked like you to see him gone. Bob continues. I'm going to the market right now. Do you need anything? You remember that you were out of cigarettes. Yes, I need cigarettes. Ah, you need cigarettes? He puts his hand in his pocket, then pulls a pack of cigarettes. Maybe I'm a bad friend for doing this, but anyway, take this. I will buy myself another pack in the market. You take the pack that has 10 cigarettes inside and thank him. Okay, man. See you later. You say goodbye to Bob, too. Then he goes. You close the door and sit back on your work table. You look at the computer screen that should have been blank, but no, it is not blank. Something is written. Daddy, I missed you. Shout, Jonathan? Type Jonathan. Turn off the computer. Alright, that's enough internet for one day. Alright, type Jonathan. Ah, fuck. I shouldn't even do this. You type Jonathan at the computer, then new letters get appended at the text on the screen. Whoever types it, he, she, it writes fast. When they are finished, they form 2 sentences. I can hear you, Daddy. Talk to me. Shout, Jonathan. Oh, I shouldn't do this. This seems like a really bad idea. Shout, Jonathan. After you shout your deceased son's name out, new letters appear and form a reply. Yes, it is me. You are not a computer engineer, but you know that it is possible to hack someone's computer and put a prank on him. The computer is online. Your computer is connected to the internet with an Ethernet cable. Hold the Ethernet cable. Hold the Ethernet cable. You crouch down and frantically pull the Ethernet cable from your computer. You expect then that nothing else will be written. But no, you are wrong. I am in the computer. How is that possible, Jonathan? Good Lord said that I should be together with you. He said that I love you and you love me, so he sent me back. Oh? I am so afraid, Daddy. It is cold and dark. I am so cold here. Please bring me back. Do you want to see me once again? Oh, fuck this. If I say no, I don't think this is right. I think I'm going to piss the thing off. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Turn off the computer in the middle of the conversation. This sounds like fucking, Pet Cemetery or some shit. Bring it to a repair specialist. Oh, fuck this. What would you do? Okay, Ika and Waffles, what would you do in this situation? You would just turn off the computer? Oh, fuck. Ika. You turn off the computer, and the monitor goes black. Then nothing else appears on the screen. You don't find anything to write in your novel, so you don't need to turn on the computer once again. And yes, also the text disturbed you. You don't experience anything supernatural during the rest of the day. At night, you take your sleeping pills and fall asleep. You're having a vivid dream. You see Jonathan in a garden with green grass and colorful flowers. He runs around with happiness. And angels. There are white-dressed angels around him. Everyone is smiling. You're not part of this dream. Jonathan doesn't see you, but you are still content with seeing him happy in this Eden. He was always a benevolent boy, after all. He deserved to go to heaven. Oh, there was a doorbell. You wake up to the sound of the ring, the doorbell. You take a look at the clock. It's 10 a. You hear, you wear your slippers and open the door. It's Bob. Hello. I need to show you something. He holds a newspaper in his hand. There's an anxiety on his face. You take the newspaper. It's Ohio's local newspaper. Let me guess, his body got dug up, or his body's gone missing, or another kid choked to death. Officers are investigating the curious case of repeated deaths of kids in the state. Yesterday night, a 6-year-old boy, Kevin Madsen, was found dead in his bed by his parents. His face was covered with his pillow. What makes this interesting for officers is this is the 7th time a boy died this way this month in Ohio. Recently, 8-year-old Jonathan White also died with a pillow on his face. Sheriff Walcott states that he finds the recent events quite interesting. The end. There are 2 possible endings. Okay, well, I didn't fucking die. I didn't fucking die, so I'm gonna call this the good ending. I'm gonna. Do you guys want to know what happens in the alt ending, or should I just move on to Crystal Skull? I don't know what I should do. Anyone? Alt ending? Okay, let's do alt ending. Alright, here we go. After funeral. You used to be a father. It has been 3 days since your son Jonathan White was buried in the graveyard of the local church. He was 8 years old. He had golden hair and blue eyes, just like the beloved man in the Carpenter song, Close to You. Since your wife passed away giving birth to Jonathan, and since he has been your everything, he was your angel. Now he is gone. He died on a snowy winter morning. You had gone to the market, leaving him alone at home. When you arrived at home, you found Jonathan lying on the bed, motionless. His face was covered with his pillow, choked. Police couldn't find any trace of trespassing. You clearly remember the solemn moments of Jonathan's funeral. In fact, you try to forget, but the details are in front of your eyes. They won't go away. The priest had intoned psalms and prayers. One sec. Alright. Clearly I'm not going insane. Alright, here we go. The priest had intoned psalms and prayers, those you are not familiar with. While the lifeless body of your son laid in the church, his feet were turned to the east. He was wearing black suits and shiny shoes. His skin was pale. He was way too young for all this. You wished it was you lying there instead of him. Like the day Jonathan died, it's a snowy day in all of Ohio. There are 3 inches of snow outside. It's 2 p.m. now. You're a writer who has been on writer's block since that day. Your favorite word processor is open in the computer. The screen is blank. You haven't written anything for a long time. There are cigarette butts in a ashtray and your black hot coffee in a blue cup on your work table. You chain smoke and consume a lot of coffee nowadays. As you're sipping your coffee, doorbell rings. Open the door. You open the door. It's Bob, your neighbor and friend. You had drunk beers and had barbecue with him several times. Bob is a nice guy. He is overweight, has short black hair, and has no facial hair. He wears a dark blue jacket and a blue beanie. Hey, how are you? I want to ask how you've been. I'm still depressed. Bob replies, I can imagine how hard it is. I never had kids, but I had a cat when I was younger. I loved her as my daughter. Bob continues, I'm going to the market right now. Do you need anything? You remember that you were out of cigarettes. Yes, I need cigarettes. Ah, you need cigarettes? He puts his hand in his pocket, then pulls a pack of cigarettes. Maybe I'm a bad friend for doing this, but anyway, take this. I'll buy myself another pack in the market. You take the pack that has 10 cigarettes inside and thank him. Okay, man, see you later. You say goodbye to Bob, then he goes. Close the door and sit back on your work table. You look at the computer screen that should have been blank, but no, it's not blank. Something is written. Daddy, I missed you, shout Jonathan. After you shout your deceased son's name out, new letters appear and form a reply. Yes, it's me. You are not a computer engineer, but you know that it is possible to hack someone's computer and put a prank on him. Computer is online. Your computer is connected to the internet with an Ethernet cable. How is this possible, Jonathan? Good Lord said that I should be together with you. He said that I love you and you love me, so he sent me back. I'm so afraid, Daddy. It is cold and dark. I'm so cold here. Please, bring me back. Do you want to see me once again? Oh, not really. Yes. Find 5 candles and wait for the midnight. Bye for now, Daddy. Oh, fuck. You only got 1 candle at home. You normally use a candle when the electricity is gone, so you didn't need more than 1 candle before. What will you do? Ask Bob for candles. It seems safer, because then he'll probably wonder what the fuck I'm doing and show up and save my life. You wear your long beige coat and black leather boots. You walk to Bob's house and ring the bell. After 10 seconds, Bob opens the door. Hey, what's up? I need 4 candles. I received strange messages. Says that it's Jonathan. Explain Bob everything that happened today, including the owner of the messages asking for 5 candles. Bob looks quite surprised. I think someone is pulling a prank on you. I don't really believe in ghosts or something like that, but if I were you, I would not do what he wants you to do. Are you still sure you want the candles? Yes, I want them. Very well. Let me bring the candles. He goes to the kitchen, then he returned with 4 candles in his hands. Here you go. You thank him and take the candles, then return home. At home, you wait in front of your monitor. Nothing happens till midnight. Then a message appears on the screen. I am back, Daddy. Did you bring the candles? Yep. Good. Let me explain how you can bring me back. Go to the cemetery. Dig my grave. Bring my coffin home. This is fucked. This is so fucked. I don't want to do this. This is a bad idea. What? Oh, wow! Good Lord wants us to be together. Don't you want to bring me back to life? You are not Jonathan. Jesus Christ! What the fuck? I will rape your wife's corpse. Do you hear me? I won't let you and her find peace. Holy fuck! You're out of words in response to this tantrum. No other messages appear. That... You turn off your computer, you take a high dose of sleeping pills, you will need it. You go to sleep. Oh my god. You see your deceased pretty wife in your dream, except she is not pretty anymore, because she is a rotten corpse, a skeleton to be exact, lying within her coffin. You can't expect much to be left from her body from 8 years of death and decay. What makes this dream worse is the fact that she is moving. She rides inside the coffin. You can feel her pain and despair from how her body parts are moving. Okay, I'm so creeped out right now. Guys, I am fucking creeped out. Oh my god, I'm creeped out. Okay. You wake up to the sound of the doorbell ringing. You take a look at the clock. It's 10 a. You wear your slippers and open the door. It's Bob! Hello! I need to show you something. He holds a newspaper in his hand. There's anxiety on his face. You take the newspaper. It's Ohio's local paper. Another kid choked to death. The end. Guys, I don't think I want to summon the weird demon that threatened to rape my wife. So I want to move on to the next story. Just saying. Doesn't seem like a good idea. Doesn't seem like a good idea, guys. But I'm gonna do it, because I'm insane. Play. Okay, let's get back to where we were. Open the door. I'm still depressed. Yes, I need cigs. Shout, Jonathan. How's this possible? No? Yes. Ask Bob. Okay, here we go. I'm back, Daddy. Did you bring the candles? Good. Let me explain how you can bring me back. Go to the cemetery, dig my grave, and bring my coffin home. Okay. We shall speak again once you bring back my coffin. You know, it's insane what you do, but you get prepared to get outside. You wear your coat and get outside your home. It's snowing like hell. A cold interpretation of hell. Outside, the sky has a bright purple color, illuminating the night with the help of a full moon behind the clouds. You get in your car and start it. The streets and roads are empty. There's only you outside in this hour of night. It doesn't take long to arrive at the church, and its graveyard. Graveyard is covered with snow and gray mist. No lights come from the church. Either there is nobody inside or the priest is sleeping. That's good. You can't be seen while digging your son's grave. You find the graves of your son and wife. Jonathan White was buried next to his mother. There's an unoccupied area next to them. You will be buried there when your time comes. You search for a shovel. You find it in about 10 minutes. You are ready to dig the grave. Dig the grave. You start digging Jonathan's grave. After 6 feet of digging, you reach the little wooden coffin. You climb down and carry the coffin up. After that, you climb up and carry the dirty coffin to your car's backseat. You had never done something this bizarre before. After you reach home, you get off your car and carry the coffin home. Luckily, there's nobody around. You drag the coffin to your living room center. You don't care about the floor getting dirty with soil. Thank you, Daddy, gets written on the screen. Now put the candles around my coffin like a star. Okay. You carefully place the candles around the coffin, making it the center of the star. You light them with your lighter. Now read these aloud, Daddy. A lonely goat on a mountain. He is thirsty, thirsty for humanly love and affection. I shall give him the water. You read the lines. And the coffin starts to shake. The coffin's lid opens slowly. You see Jonathan opening the lid and rising up. His skin is pale, almost white. You can smell the rot of his undead corpse. He is wearing that black suit you couldn't forget. He stands on his feet and smiles at you. Then he steps outside the coffin away from you without saying anything. And he does something you wouldn't expect from the dead. He dances. He dances with joy. After a half a minute, he stops dancing, stares at you. His eyes are still blue. Take me in your arms, Daddy. Take me to the bathroom. I want to show you something. It is impossible not to obey what he says. You feel his presence dominating the room, overwhelming you, and it's impossible to say no. You crouch down and take him in your arms. You carry him to the bathroom. You bring him to the dark bathroom. You turn on the light and get horrified by what you see in the mirror. The boy's reflection is different. His skin is burnt like coal. Jonathan had an innocent and handsome face, but the face you see is so far from being pleasant. It is like a really old man's face, who is also very ugly, and he has no hair. I always wanted a daddy like you, says the eldritch abomination you hold in your arms. The end. Holy fuck, that is so creepy. That is so fucking creepy. Oh my god, I creeped myself out so bad. Alright, how many stories we got? We got 2 that we've done, and we've seen both endings. We've got 2 right here, and we've got 2 right here. Yeah, fucking turning off the computer was the right choice. This demon thing threatened to rape my dead wife when I pissed it off. Don't think it's a nice person. Okay, guys. I'm going to read one more, and I'm going to save the other 3 for another video. If you guys want me to keep doing these, let me know. So, on to Crystal Skull. You're a king who is loved by his people. You have a serious problem, though. Your only child, Juliana, has an incurable disease, and she is dying. You hear about a crystal skull, which can cure illnesses and let people have visions. It is brought to your palace from the continent of America, but your man warns you that the skull might be cursed. Will the crystal skull bring help to the princess, or doom? Crystal Skull. Being a king is hard. Being a good king is even harder. You know this Will is the sole ruler of a European kingdom in the age when America is destroyed. It has been 25 years since you ascended the throne. Your subjects are content with your rule. Your country is in peace, and the people are wealthy. But there's something wrong with your life. Your daughter, Juliana, is ill. She's only 18 years old, and she has got an illness that nobody could cure yet. Princess is dying, and she is your only child, an heir to the throne. Every doctor you could find tried to cure her. You have tried almost everything. Almost. You have been informed about a miraculous artifact, unearthed in the continent of America. It is a human skull made of crystal. It amazes the scholars because no method is known to carve up such an excellent shape of a skull out of crystal. This skull doesn't belong to the world that you know, but to an ancient civilization that has been lost. But what amazes the scholars is not just the impossible creation. The skull is told to bring miracles to whom touches it with their bare hands. Some people tell that they saw visions from the future. Some tell that they saw how a human race has originated. And some tell that the skull can cure their illnesses. Those couldn't be cured with the medication available to your era. Naturally, you ordered your best men to bring the miraculous skull to the palace. It's midnight now. You're in Juliana's chamber. She's lying in her bed, holding your hand as you sit by her bed. No candles are lit inside. Full moon enlightens the princess's chamber, shining on her long blonde hair and blue eyes. She is too weak. Her skin is pale. She has under eye bags, showing her illness. You already suffered the loss of your wife 10 years ago. Now you can't stand seeing your only daughter slowly die. Juliana asks you with a soft voice, "Father, am I going to die?" "Eventually, yes. Bitch, you're dead." "I won't allow that." She smiles. "I know, Father. You are a mighty king. I know that you will do the best by your subjects and me." Press any key to continue. The door of the chamber is knocked on. The servants generally don't disturb the royal family members at night, so it must be something important. Come in! A brunette boy, one of your servants, gets inside the chamber with politeness. He looks at you and says, Your Majesty, the artifact has been brought. You have been waiting for this moment for a long time. Go to the artifact. Kiss Juliana's forehead. I will come back. After you kiss Juliana's forehead and say, I will come back, she brings your hand to her pale lips and kiss it. Then you leave Juliana alone in the chamber. At the exit of Juliana's chamber, you see Sir William, one of the knights. Those were appointed with the task of bringing the ancient skull. He is a strong man, with black hair and a round beard. He wears gloves and holds a bag. Your Majesty, he says, and kneels before you. Signal him to stand up. Let's go to my study chamber. Sir William follows you as you walk to your study chamber. The chamber is well lit with silver candelabras. All the furniture are classy. It is a king's study room, after all. There is only one chair. It is for you. You sit on it. Sir William stands by you and slowly pulls the artifact from his bag. You push the books on the study desk to open space for the artifact. Here it is, he says, and gently puts the crystal skull on the study desk. The skull is truly a masterpiece. It is crafted by humans. All the details of a human skull are imprinted with care on raw crystal. Lights coming from the candles are refracted inside the crystal, gaining various colors of a rainbow. It's magnificent, but you choose something. But you sense something sinister, something that doesn't belong to our world. Touch the skull. Did you knights touch the skull? Yes, we did touch the skull with our bare hands, and we all had visions. We took glances from our futures. Some of us saw how they will die. Some of us saw our grandchildren. He continues, but maybe we shouldn't have touched the skull. The day we were about to leave, a native man came to us. He looked like the chief of his tribe. He knew little of our language, but he shouted some words that we could not understand. Cursed! No touch! So we haven't touched the skull with our bare hands again. I know that our princess needs to find a cure. I also know that we received reliable information about the magical powers of the skull when it comes to the incurable diseases. But your majesty, I have got a very bad feeling about the skull. I believe that the wise decision is to throw this skull to the sea. I trust your insight. Let's do it. I guess my daughter's gonna die. I'm glad that you agree with me, your majesty. So he packs the crystal skull back into the bag. You two get outside the palace and get on your horses to ride the ducks. Yeah, fuck this skull. It's gonna go into the ocean and it's never gonna be found again. I'm gonna Jumanji this shit. So he packs the crystal skull back into the bag. You two get outside the palace and get on your horses to ride to the docks. When you reach the dock, Sir William finds stones and fills the bag with it. Then he throws the bag. Your only hope for curing Juliana to the bottom of the dark sea. I know how hard it must be, but maybe this is for the best of all of us. You hope that he is right. The end. There are 3 endings. Well, I want to find out more. This time, I'm going to touch the skull. Wait, what if I say eventually yes? It is so sad that I am a princess with ambitions. She sighs. It is so sad. I am a princess with ambitions. Ambitious to become a ruler. It is certainly not about personal gain. I want to continue what you do. I want to be a fair ruler. Make our people happy, she continues. But I think this is life. Death conquers all. The door of the chamber is knocked on. The servants generally don't disturb the royal family members at night. That must be something important. Come in! A brunette boy, one of your servants, gets inside the chamber with politeness. He looks at you and says, Your Majesty, the artifact has been brought. You have been waiting for this moment for a long time. Kiss Juliana's forehead. I will come back. After you kiss Juliana's forehead and say, I will come back, she brings your hand to her pale lips and kisses it. Then you leave Juliana alone in her chamber. At the exit of Juliana's chamber, you see Sir William, one of the knights those were appointed with the task of bringing the ancient skull. He is a strong man, with black hair and a round beard. He wears gloves and holds a bag. Your Majesty, he says, and kneels before you. Sir William follows you as you walk to your study chamber. The chamber is well lit with a silver candelabras. All the furniture are classy. It is a king's study after all. There is only one chair. It is for you. You sit on it. Sir William stands by you and slowly pulls the artifact from his bag. He pushed the books on the study desk to open space for the artifact. Here it is, he says, and gently puts the crystal skull on the study desk. The skull is truly a masterpiece. If it is crafted by humans, all the details of a human skull are imprinted with care on raw crystal. Lights coming from the candles are refracted inside the crystal, gaining various colors of a rainbow. It's magnificent, but you sense something sinister, something that doesn't belong to our world. Did you knights touch the skull? Yes, we did touch the skull, with our bare hands, and we all had visions. We took glances from our futures. Some of us saw how they will die, some of us saw our grandchildren, he continues, but maybe we shouldn't have touched the skull. The day we were about to leave, a native man came to us. He looked like the chief of his tribe. He knew little of our language, but he shouted some words that we could understand. Cursed! No touch! So we haven't touched the skull with our bare hands again. I know that our princess needs to find a cure. I also know that we receive reliable information about the magical powers of the skull, but when it comes to incurable diseases... But your majesty, I have got a very bad feeling about the skull. I believe that the wise decision is to throw this skull into the sea. Alright, this time we're going to be foolish. I can't let Juliana die. She will touch the skull. The knight sighs, as you wish, your majesty. But if you're going to bring the skull to her, I wish you would wear gloves. Wear gloves. You look for gloves around the study chamber. Sir William pulls his own gloves off. I think you wish Juliana to touch the skull as soon as possible. Let's not wait for servants to find your gloves, he says, and gives you them. You wear the gloves and hold the crystal skull with your covered hands. Let me bring the skull to Juliana. You thank Sir Williams for his service and let him go. You carry the skull to Juliana's chamber. You enter her chamber and see that she hasn't slept yet. She rises up and sits on her bed. She looks at the skull in awe. It looks marvelous. Scary, she says. You approach Juliana and let her touch the skull. As Juliana touches the skull, she closes her eyes and doesn't react to anything in the external world. You understand that she is having a vision. After 10 seconds, she opens her eyes with a gasp. I saw things! I don't know how to describe them. They were pitch black creatures, so ugly. Their eyes, they were red as flames, and they all stared at me. She starts to cry. Please keep this thing away from me. Please, I don't want to be alone. So you decide to keep the skull in your study room and let your daughter sleep. After this tiring day, you go to your chamber. There are no guards at the door. You just trust everybody in the palace. You are a loved king. The furniture are luxurious in this chamber, too. You take a glance at your reflection in the mirror. Things are about to get bad. Examine yourself. You take pride in how you look. You're a middle-aged man, but you still look as handsome as you were young. Your looks are an important factor that makes you a charismatic leader, besides being fair and wise. You wear your nightgown and you get in your bed. It is a bed for 2 people, but you haven't slept with anyone since your wife passed. You have a secret that you keep from everyone. Sometimes you hug the second pillow in your bed, as if it was someone you love. You do this since your childhood. Nobody needs to know it. It doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. Father. You wake up to Juliana's voice. She gently holds your shoulder. You look at her. She has a happy smile on her face. Her skin is not pale, but saturated with life. She no longer has bags under her eyes. I feel wonderful. She takes a few steps back and starts dancing. You laugh with happiness. Stand up and hug her. Juliana walks in the corridors of the palace, dancing and laughing. You and the people of the palace are very happy to see her this way. She used to be like a ghost before. You plan a feast and invite all the lords of the kingdom. A few days later, every lord arrives to the capital city to celebrate the health of the princess. At the feast, Juliana is the center of everybody's attention. She talks with everyone joyfully, makes jokes, makes people laugh. When the feast is over and it's midnight, everybody goes to the chambers reserved for them. You accompany Juliana to her chamber. You put a kiss on her forehead before letting her sleep. Then you go to your own chamber and fall asleep in peace. You wake up to the sound of the knocking on your chamber's door. It's still night. You wonder who dared to wake you up at this hour. Open the door. It's the same brunette boy who would inform you about the arrival of the skull. Your Majesty, I'm deeply sorry for disturbing you at this hour, but there's something wrong. There are laughing sounds coming from the princess's chamber. It's her voice, but it doesn't sound normal. I'm sure it's nothing important. Let me check it. You walk to Juliana's chamber like the servant said. Hysterical laughter is coming from inside. You decide to enter. You see Juliana at the balcony of her chamber, facing back at you. She laughs under the pale moon. You approach her and put your hand on her shoulder. She turns back to you. Her face is normal, smiling. Just when you were going to ask if she is okay, she responds, I know it looks funny, Father, but I am fine. Please leave me alone, she says. She stops laughing, gets in her bed with a smile on her face. You decide to leave her alone. You go back to your chamber. You can't sleep. You feel something is wrong. So wrong. The door of your chamber opens. There's only one person who is allowed to enter without knocking on the king's door. So you understand that it's Juliana who entered. Like you guessed, you see your daughter's silhouette. She closes the door and approaches you with a smile on her face. Juliana? She leans down to you, gently pulls the other pillow that you don't use. Juliana is dead, she says, pushing the pillow on your face. You struggle, but whoever or whatever is trying to kill you is too strong. The king is dead. Long live the king, she shouts. Why is your own daughter committing patricide, regicide, and referring herself as king rather than queen? That doesn't make sense at all. This is the end of your reign in life. Well, she fucking killed me. She fucking killed me. Okie dokie then. I mean, I can't complain about that. I'm the one who messed with evil voodoo magic. I guess I deserve to die. Anyway, you guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys want me to, like, do the other 3, let me know in the comments or, I guess, on Discord and all that good stuff. On Twitch, we're going to continue. On YouTube, this is going to be the end of this video. So, what's the third ending? We'll play some more, and we'll try to get the third ending next time. Zen, wait. You really want to know what the third ending is before we call it on this? Okay, fine. Just for you, Ika. Just for you. We'll try to find out what the third ending is. Okay, let's see. Okay, so. You want to know if there's tentacles. Ika, there's something wrong with you. I won't allow that. Kiss her forehead again. This time, I'm going to touch the skull. You're about to touch the skull. Sir William holds your hand and prevents you from touching the skull. Your Majesty, I think I need to tell you something about the skull before you touch it. That's where he said curse, no touch. I can't let Juliana die. Touch it with bare hands. You ignore the knight, touch the skull with your bare hands, and instantly find yourself in a vision. In your vision, you are in the middle of a ritual. There are about 100 naked humans around you, forming a circle whose center is you. They are all prostrating themselves, worshipping you. It's nighttime. The plain area is enlightened with torches and stars. You see a stepped pyramid nearby. It is made of huge stone blocks. You realize that you are the crystal skull. You can't see yourself, but you are completely aware of what you are. These naked people are worshipping you, the crystal skull. Then the vision changes. Now it's not night, morning. It is raining like hell. There is a huge flood. Unclothed, red-skinned humans scream and get drowned because the disaster is torn. And you, as a skull, drift away. You open your eyes and turn back to who you really are. The good king. Sir William looks at you. Tell the vision. You tell him what you have seen in your vision. Yes, the skull is mysterious. I can't understand it. I hope it doesn't bring harm to you or the princess and your majesty, he says. Let me bring the skull to Juliana. You thank Sir William for his services and let him go. You carry the skull to Juliana's chamber. You enter her chamber and see that she hasn't slept yet. She rises up and sits on her bed and looks at the skull now. It looks marvelous and scary, she says. You approach Juliana and let her touch the skull. She holds the skull, rubs her hands around it. Nothing happens. Is something supposed to happen? Maybe I took the bad thing into my soul or whatever, she asks, and then gives the skull back. Then she continues, let's wait for tomorrow morning. Maybe it shows its effect then. You decide to leave Juliana alone and let her sleep. The skull will be staying in your study chamber. After this tiring day, you go to your chamber. There are no guards at this door. You just trust everybody in the palace. You are a loved king. The furniture are luxurious in this chamber too. You take a glance at your reflection in the mirror. Examine yourself. You wear your nightgown and get in your bed. It is a bed for 2 people, but you haven't slept with anyone since your wife passed away. You have a secret that you keep from everyone. Sometimes you hug the second pillow in your bed as if it was someone you love. You do this since your childhood. Nobody needs to know. It doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. You wake up in the morning. Something is wrong. You can't move your arms. No, not only your arms. You can't move any part of your body. You are paralyzed. And suddenly your body starts to move involuntarily. It stands up without your consent. Your feet bring you to the mirror. You see your face in the mirror. You are terrified, but there is a grin on your face. You are no longer in control of your body. You are merely a bystander of what it does. It brings you to the throne room with confident steps. Soldiers salute you. To be exact, as you enter. It sits on the throne and shouts with your voice, "Bring me my daughter!" You watch guards accompany Juliana as she comes into your presence. It shouts, "I don't want her to suffer anymore. Kill her!" Juliana is shocked. "What? Father, please!" She's not only surprised. She is not the only surprised one in the room. Everybody looks at each other with shock. It shouts, "You heard your king! Execute her!" You try to shout, but your screams are buried inside the head of the king. Juliana gets on her knees and cries in despair, but it's in vain. 2 black masked men decapitators come into your presence. One holds the crying blonde girl, the other holds the sword. You can do nothing but watch as your precious daughter gets decapitated. Her head falls down and rolls to the floor. Rolls to the throne. Floor gets filled with her blood. Days pass. It continues to control your body. You mourn for your daughter inside the body that once belonged to you. You watch it rule your country with an iron fist. It orders all the churches be burnt and priests to be hung. Of course, your people uprises against the new king. It suppresses a revolt with violence. Anyone who stood against the king gets tortured. Eyes are poked. Skins are flayed. Soon it orders people to worship it as a deity. The God King declares war against other countries. It doesn't take long for the other countries to form an alliance against the God King. In a fateful battle in your capital, the God King loses his horse. The evil king gets killed while desperately searching for a horse. And this is how your soul finally breaks free to heaven to see your family once again. Wow. That shit was fucking crazy, dude. Holy shit. Well, okay, I'm glad you convinced me to do the third ending because that shit was fucking insane. Anyway, alright. If you guys want me to play the next 3 ones, let me know. I guess in the YouTube comments or whatever. And let me know in the Discord if you want me to continue. Anyway, this is going to be the end of this video. On Twitch, we're going to continue. But this is it for YouTube. Later, you guys. Goodbye.